I'm back from my trip to Ireland and I have with me a delicious pecan Danish. On this plate, if you're wondering, is burlyware. My mum had an antiques and collectibles shop when she lived in South Africa. She had a couple actually. So, my name is Deborah Carr. Thank you for joining me again. If this isn't your first time, if it is, thank you for finding me. So, I'm a Jersey writer. I was born in Jersey and I live in Jersey. That's Jersey, the island, one of the Channel Islands, the largest of the Channel Islands, and we're situated in the Bay of St Malo, actually, off the coast of France. So I can't from this house, but from my previous home, I literally could see the beach. The beaches in France and the lights at night from my bedroom window, from all the upstairs windows at the back of the house, actually. But I can't from where I am now, but still, I'm not that far away. So thank you for joining me. As I said, I normally post on a Sunday, but I've just come back from almost a week away with my nearest and dearest, so my mum and my two children, both in their early 30s. We went to Ireland. So my mum is, both my maternal grandparents are from Southern Ireland. Hello, Claudie. Sorry, my little blind little dog Claude's come say, "You're right. You're right. You go lie down with Ro. Good boy." He's not. He's still here, but that's fine. So my mum spent the first 5 years of her life living with her grandmother in Ireland because it was the war then, and so she was sent there because my grandmother lived in London at the time. So she was working. She also did fire watching at night, obviously in the earlier part of the war. And my maternal grandfather was at sea because he was in the Royal Navy. So my mum was sent to Ireland to live with her grandmother in this beautiful, beautiful place near Kinsale called Summer Cove. And I've never been there before. I've never been to Ireland before. I can't believe it at my age. I've never actually been to Ireland. My mum, if I didn't say, we recently did our DNA, my mum and I, my godmother, and my mum is 64% Irish, and my godmother is 66% Irish, I think it is. I am 61% Irish because although my paternal grandfather was born in Jersey, and his father too, that side of the family did originate from near Waterford in Southern Ireland as well, so very Irish. I'm also 21% Scottish and then a bit of other different places, tiny weeny bit English. Yeah, so that was exciting to see. So I was desperately wanting to visit Ireland with my mum and discover where my great grandmother lived, where my grandmother grew up, and also for her to share stories of her childhood there, which were fascinating. We have so many now. It was absolutely wonderful. I will be sharing bits and pieces over the next coming weeks about my trip. When I went there, so my previous video, I mentioned that I'm out of contract with my two publishers. I had zero inspiration about what to write next. And instead of fretting about it, I decided to leave it, go to Ireland and see if I was inspired in any way. Because I mostly, for my historical novels, and actually my contemporary novels, you're right, written books set in Jersey, because this is where I'm from. It's a beautiful island. It's a holiday island, and readers seem to love it, love the setting. But when I went to Ireland and I visited Kinsale, so my maternal grandmother's family were in Summer Cove, and my mother's father's side were in Kinsale, lived in Kinsale. And there's a place called sorry, I can't concentrate because I've got pestering me. Norman's Mall, and there is a purple, but beautifully coloured houses. Kinsale is the most beautiful place to visit if you've never been before. Lots of very brightly painted houses and hotels and cafes and bars and places like that. Then there's this place called the Bookstore. It is purple, and it's down this one street. And the Bookstore is where my my grandfather grew up. My mother's father grew up, because it was his father's, so my great-grandfather's barbershop. And now it's it's called the Bookstore. It's a beautiful, beautiful bookshop. And we all went inside. And as I always do, I always look at the books to see if there's any writers who I personally know have their books in there. I'd never expect to see my book in there. I was, a few months ago, over the moon to discover that I had a book, or books maybe, sold in Shakespeare & Co., my favourite bookshop in Paris. That I thought was amazing. So I didn't expect to see any of my books there, but I was looking to see if any of my other HarperCollins author friends or Bolded author friends had books in there. And I was walking around, and then I went to this bit at the back, which was like vintage books. So obviously older books that haven't just come out now. And I saw a book and thought, oh, I recognise that one. I recognise that name. And after a split second, I realised I recognised it because it was my name, and it was the Poppy Sisters. I mean, how amazing is that? So I never expected to see that there. Now, the Poppy Sisters did do quite well. It was an Amazon First Reads in 2023, August 2023. So it actually came out in September 2023. So that's why it's a vintage book, because obviously it's a couple of years old. But it was there. I was so excited. My daughter very kindly, my mum and my son took photos of me there, because clearly I was over the moon about it. And my daughter videoed a couple of short videos that I will share on here very soon. It was just the most wonderfully surreal experience. And it was so exciting to think how history comes full circle. That is the place where my mum's father grew up, where my mum's grandfather had his business, had his barbershop. And my family have constantly gone back to visit there over the years, because obviously they've always been going backwards and forwards to Ireland, and, you know, we have relatives there and that sort of thing. I never expected that one day I would have a book, one of my HarperCollins books, actually being sold in there. And the lovely assistant on the till said, please, you've got to sign this. So I did sign it. And fun enough, in my bag, I often take, because I'm often asked for them, postcards. In my bag, I had a couple, weirdly, of the Poppy Sisters. I wouldn't often take the Poppy Sisters ones, because since then I have written and had published Neighbours at War and The Witching Hour. So I don't know why I have one of those. The whole thing was rather surreal, but very, very exciting. So we were very lucky too with the weather. It was sunny, and we were able to visit lots of places. So Charles Fort, which was an incredible place, and there at Charles Fort is a lighthouse, and that's at the top of the hill when you've driven through Summer Cove. This tiny little village, it can't be a town, along the coast from Kinsale, not far along the coast from Kinsale. We stopped there for lunch at Bulmer's, I get the name wrong every time, Orange, it's an orange pub. Absolutely gorgeous it was, and the food was delicious. And at the top of the hill is a fort which was badly bombed 100 or so years ago, and is being slowly renovated. It's fantastic. There's a visitors site, there's a lot to see there, well worth a visit too. And at the end there, it's on the headland, is a small lighthouse, and my great-grandfather lit the lighthouse. So he worked at the lighthouse. So there was an awful lot, and I have been massively inspired. My mum showed me her nana's house, which is very modern now. It's been very much done up, with the little lane beside the house, and walked to the top of the lane. I've got videos of my mum talking about lots of memories of hers, and obviously I've heard lots of stories about the place. So it was absolutely fantastic, and I have come back massively inspired. I've already done a big outline for a series, so I can't tell you any more about that, because this week, so today, I will be sending that off to my publisher to see what she thinks, because we're trying to work out an idea of what I should write next. I'm hoping she likes this. I will write it. If it's not for a publisher, I will write it for myself. But I'm not sure yet exactly what I'm going to do with it. So I will share that as and when I do work out with her what I'm doing with it. Also later this week, so that's my HarperCollins publisher. And later this week on Thursday, I have a Zoom chat with my Boldwood editor. So I've got an awful lot going on this week, but it is such a relief to be inspired like I have been. I mean, massively inspired. I think, one, it's such a beautiful, well, Kinsale and Summer Cove, they're such beautiful places. There's so much to see. And Ireland, when people say how green it is, I mean, it's very green here in Jersey, but it's very strange. It's almost like the grass has a neon quality to it. It is green like I've never seen green before. And we were lucky with the weather because although it was a bit rainy and a bit windy, either side of one of the days, so we did have 2 days where we actually had beautiful sunshine. We were able to take lots of lovely photos. We had wonderful meals, went to lovely bars. I mean, there was just so much to do and to see. And we came back very happy with lots of memories, wonderful special memories, lots of stories to share with our family. And I came back massively inspired. So I thought I'd share that with you today. Now I better go and finish working on this outline so that I can send it to my publisher and I hope that she likes it. And I will then have my cup of tea in my bumblebee mug today and eat my Pecan Danish. And I will tell you more as and when I know about it. So I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. And I will be posting my excitement in the bookstore in Kinsale in the next day or so. So please look out for that. Thank you for joining me. And I look forward to chatting to you again very soon.